it's one of those days.
Yeah.
No, it's not one of them days, is it?
No.
Oh, it's one of these days.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of like this.
I like it.
Is my voice going, or is it just me?
It could be you.
Why does my voice sound okay, or is it a little bit? Yeah, I did that on purpose, but you know what I'm saying.
I think you sound all right.
Like, if I was to scream something right now, I might sound like a teenage girl.
Oh, well.
Yeah, because I can feel it.
Well, just belt it out once. I want to hear it.
No, absolutely not. We're not playing Daisy Duke.
No.
Okay, but I'll tell you what we are playing today. It's something new. Okay, It's Morty Cranker's Bad Bosses Day.
Oh.
Okay, and in the first one, we're going to talk about what bad bosses do.
Right.
And then you got a couple stories about some bad, or
I got
one
story.
bad boss.
I got one bad boss story.
Okay, I've had good bosses, and I've
had a bunch of good and one bad.
One bad one. But you know what? It only takes one to rot all of them.
Yeah. I guess.
I mean, do you agree with that?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get back to the aggressive hawk story that we were going to talk about yesterday, but we couldn't.
Right.
Maybe we'll get to the Russian Yeti.
Right.
Sasquatch.
Yep.
They got a different name for him. Before we get to the national days, and pardon us, we forgot Nationals Days yesterday, but I think it was because we were so pumped up about doing that song.
It was. I think a lot of it, yeah.
Yeah. So we're sorry.
Sorry, but hey.
It was National Unicorn Day yesterday.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. So, I thought that would be a special day for you.
Oh,
you like unicorns, don't you?
Not really.
No? I know when my daughters were growing up and they'd, be going to the bathroom in their pants and they'd have like a hard turd and that was sticking out. I'd say, hey, look, a unicorn horn. It was what it was. But it's National Erase Self-Negativity Day.
Yeah, there you go.
I think a little bit of self-negativity to motivate certain people is a good thing.
I think so. It's motivational. Yeah, it would be good. But.
Right. Like if you're constantly downing yourself, that's bad.
It is.
But, if you know that there's something wrong with you, do something about it.
Exactly.
Damn it, Jim. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just a doctor.
Yeah. It's National Farm Animals Day.
Right.
I don't know why this just came to my head, but I saw Leonard Nimoy.
Really?
Singing 20s music.
No way.
I swear, it's on the YouTube. Now, I tried to look it up to see if it was AI.
That's what I'm wondering, too.
Yeah, but, could you imagine Leonard Nimoy singing, swinging 20s?
No.
He was.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he was really crazy. It's National Cinnamon Crescent Day. Now, I like crescents.
Yeah.
Oh, but to me, a crescent is more for like if you want to have a high-end sub.
Oh, okay.
Ham, turkey,
right.
Black Forest ham.
Yeah.
How about you?
I'm kind of in that same boat with you on that.
Yeah, I really don't think there's anything wrong with cinnamon crescent rolls. However,
I think that's more now they've created a snack.
Yeah, well, I think so too.
Yeah.
It's National Siblings Day.
Yeah.
So happy Siblings Day to Amber and Jake and Christy.
Happy Siblings Day to my
Molly
sister,
and
Amy.
Yeah. Well, happy Siblings Day to all. You didn't even know a sibling day was a thing.
I didn't either.
You know what I'm saying? But I learned so much from this. It's National Encourage a Young Writer Day.
Yeah. Well, there we go. And they're our future leaders.
Are they?
They're supposed to be.
Because, all the stories that I'm reading are saying that AI is taking over all the writing.
Oh, boy.
I don't know. There is something.
Got to be a human aspect in some things.
Well, man, I would sure think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I can tell whether or not AI wrote something or whether a human did.
You're doing pretty good then.
Well, do you think you can?
I've read a lot of things recently, and it's hard to tell on some things.
It really is. It really is. So, and that's all the days there is today.
Yeah.
Can you believe that?
Yep. I think it's more easy to notice a video that's fake than it's AI than it is to read something and know that.
Well, I think you're right. Just so you know, yesterday was National Name Yourself Day.
Huh.
National Winston Churchill Day.
Right.
National Chinese Almond Cookie Day.
Wow. Sounds like we skipped a good day.
Well, I mean, do you like almond cookies?
Nah.
I like American almond cookies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's National Former Prisoner of War Recognition Day. That's an important one.
Yeah.
That was yesterday. I didn't want to miss it. And, of course, your day, National Unicorn Day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay, like, when we were kids, like one of the things that was always brought up over and over and over again, I want you to take a look at this video. You see that video right there?
I see that.
When we were kids, folks, I'm talking, 80s, 90s,
Yeah.
they always talked about, ooh, don't go in the sewers in New York because the alligators are going to get you.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Rats the size of buses and alligators.
Oh, yeah.
They were down there, right?
Yep.
Well, it's always been a myth
Right.
until now. Okay, so they went down there and they actually put some video cameras down deep in the sewers. Like New York has layers of sewers, okay?
Right.
We're talking about deep, deep, deep in the sewers
Right.
because they wanted to see how the flow of rain was going through these things, right?
Right.
And guess what they got on camera?
Gator.
Multiple gators,
Oh, boy.
okay? One was a 5-foot gator
In New York City.
in New York City
Wow.
in their sewer.
Wow.
Okay, what do you think?
I think a lot of kids have flushed a lot of gators down the toilet.
Well, it's got to be something like that. Just imagine this. Imagine you're going down the sewer hole because you got to do a routine maintenance pothole inspection, and you go down there and there's a 5-foot gator. What do you do?
Oh, man.
See, this is like a segment without a segment.
It is. It's like you better run.
What would you do? Yeah, but how do you run?
It's got to be that song in the background. Run.
It might be a really crappy place to run.
It might be.
You know what
Gotta
I'm
watch your step.
Yeah.
Or steps in this case.
Anyways, so Public Works has now said that there's many of them there.
Mm.
So, it wasn't a conspiracy. Now, as a conspiracy knowist, I want to know how that makes you feel.
Just keeps proving me right.
Well, a lot of it does, literally.
Yep.
I don't know how this guy did this, but a man, he just broke the world record for pull-ups, and he did it because somebody else beat him. Okay, if you got 24 hours to do pull-ups, if I do 100 pull-ups, which I don't even know if I could do,
Right.
my arms, shoulders, they're done.
Mine would fall off.
Yeah. This guy, the first time he did it, he did 8,100 pull-ups
Jeez.
in 24 hours. And then a guy beat him, so he went back and he did 8,600 pull-ups in 24 hours. Okay. Guess how many he did this time?
8,700.
10,001.
Wow. He just wanted to make sure he cleared the mark.
How many is that per hour?
10,001 plus or
Divided by 24.
Divided by 24 hours?
Yeah. I'm not even going to get the phone out. I'm going to let you do it.
I don't know. It's probably 1,400.
Oh, it's a good thing you're not a math major.
You got that right.
Yeah. Anyways, congratulations. Truett Haynes, great job. I couldn't do it. I don't know anybody that could.
I don't either. And yeah.
But I did find a story, which would be more like a Guinness record for you to do.
Really?
Yeah. And it happened right here in Missouri. 309 people wore banana hats to break world record at a museum. Now, I could see you getting 309 people together. Now you got to get 310 people together with banana hats to break a peeling Guinness World Record. You see what I did there?
That's an easy record to get. Just got to get a bus.
Well, I mean, literally, you can like...
Couple buses.
Guinness Book of World Records, you can do almost anything and get recognition. Like, there's 309 people walking around with a hat on. Right. You know what I'm saying?
What's the record for holding pencils in your hand?
Oh, I bet you there is one.
That's what I'm making a joke about, but it probably is one.
Yeah. Anyway, so we want to do this segment, Cranker's Bad Bosses.
Yeah.
What do you got to say about it?
Oh, I know about a bad boss. And this is back when I was much younger, a teenager.
Okay, so
I was in high school.
were you a good worker back then?
I was.
Okay.
I had a pretty good work ethic. Like I said, I worked on farm when I was 11 years old, all the way up to 17 years of age.
Oh, so you were a worker.
I was a worker. And then I went to the store and worked there too. And I worked at this store called Biggs. I'll mention it because it's no longer around.
Biggs.
No longer around.
Okay.
So, but anyway, big boss, I guess, for my shift. He used to throw a fit and stuff. Like we would go out and set up different displays and stuff, and if he didn't like it, he would get all upset. Oh, it needs moved over just a little bit further, and you got to tear it back down, and so we can move it about another inch. I mean, this guy was just like, he had to be meticulously precise on everything he did.
Right. Well, I'm
one of them guys.
Yeah.
A goody.
But was he a perfectionist or was he just an a-hole?
That too.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what was his favorite quote? I'm trying to remember his favorite quote, and it just got on my nerves all the time as a kid. I know it's one of them old quotes that just like sticks in your gill, like when you hear it. Like,
so it's like young people today hearing "back in my day."
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Same thing.
Dude.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh man, just shut up.
So did it ever come to blows?
No, I ended up one night, got tired of hearing him, and you might want to beat me.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Because I said I'm tired of this. Yeah.
This
meep. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Right.
Tired of what?
I'm tired of this shit,
Okay. Yeah.
So I walked out.
So you got a couple
First job I ever
phrases
walked
for him,
on.
right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's hear your phrases for him.
Yeah. If my boss ever found themselves on fire, I'd probably still get written up for not clapping hard enough at the last meeting.
I wonder if they're referencing Walmart, with their, like hoorah, get ready, pump up your blood meetings. You know what?
Right. That's probably what
I've seen them. Walmart, give me a W.
Right.
Give me an A. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, maybe it works. I don't know.
I got another one. I like this one better. My boss has a heart of gold buried somewhere under 6 feet of employee complaints. That is great.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Have you ever had a boss that micromanaged everything?
No, not really, except the one I talked about.
Yeah, I have had, and that sucks. Okay.
He was a micromanager, the guy I talked about.
So I put a few things in order here that really bother me or did bother me. Have you ever had a boss that took credit for your work?
Yeah, actually I have.
Some coworkers do that and some bosses do that.
Yeah, I've had coworkers tell me that too.
Well, okay, so I'll tell you a story. I worked at a feed mill.
Right.
And this prick manager would have me do stuff and,
right.
He would take credit for it. Every morning, I would hear from the big boss, listen to him praise my boss
right.
about stuff that I did.
Right.
So this went on for, I don't know, maybe 5 weeks.
Right.
So he left one night. He told me what to do, and I messed everything up, but I messed everything up on purpose.
Right.
Just to have him come in the next morning, and I thought I had him, right?
Right.
So the big boss is yelling at the boss, and he goes, well, Hans did it.
Huh.
Yeah, so
Right.
when it came to the bad stuff, he pointed at me.
Oh, most certainly.
But all the good stuff, like going up. Well, I didn't stay there that much longer, if you know what I'm saying.
I got you.
Yeah. Have you ever had a boss that will yell at you for doing something wrong, but they didn't give you clear instructions to begin with?
Yes.
Like,
I've had that happen.
Just go figure it out.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah, you'll figure it out. But and then if you figure it out wrong,
then it comes back on you.
Yeah, it's like this laziness wrapped in delusion.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I've had that quite often in a lot of the jobs I've worked.
Have you ever had a boss that just disappears when you need him?
I've had that quite often too.
Yeah, that is a real thing. Like, They're just gone. And then when they come back, they act like, they were writing the Declaration of Independence or something.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, the stuff I do is very, very important. It's like you were in the John for 45 minutes, probably sitting on your phone.
Yep. You was in a meeting in the John.
Yeah, reading, taking his daily constitution.
Meeting of the minds.
I don't know. This never really bothered me, but some people, this really bothers when bosses have favorites.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. That's
Does that bother you?
That does bother me. And I see it today. That's all.
Well, back in our day, not so much anymore because I think a lot of this has left the work field.
Yeah.
But do you remember when there was always one hot chick?
Yeah.
And they got away with everything.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That still goes on.
Like, you'd see the boss over there, and he wasn't asking her out on dates, but he was flirting and, kicking his feet up. And
right.
You know what I'm saying?
I've seen that in the past job. Yeah.
Yeah. That part bothers me. Have you ever had a boss that's like just a morale murderer?
Yeah.
Like you go into work and you are gung-ho, you're ready to get something done, and then you talk to them and it's like just completely killed your morale.
Because they came in with the bad attitude.
Yeah, bad attitude.
Yeah.
And it just
because it's something that
flows.
happened at their house before they came in.
Right.
So, yeah. Yeah.
So, it is what it is. How about a boss that ignores boundaries?
Yeah.
You like stands too close to you, breathes, you can smell their bad breath.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or, mention something about your wife. Like, have you ever had anybody inappropriately talk about your wife at work?
No. That's one thing I can say. Nobody's ever said anything negative about my wife. Not at least to my face.
Right. Well, I mean, if they did, they'd probably have their teeth.
They probably would have had their
in
teeth.
Charmin, if you know what I'm saying.
Their teeth would have been where their arsehole is.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I think as a good boss,
right,
because there's a lot of bad ones out there. If you're the boss that goes and says you're doing this wrong and really rails on somebody, I think that boss also needs to be the boss that gives people recognition.
Yeah.
Now, I've been around bosses before that, we keep hitting goals. We're, 20% over, our quota.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Yep.
And there's just, nobody's saying nothing. Nobody's doing nothing. Nobody's giving you any recognition. I think that's a killer too.
It does. And it is a killer to the whole plant or the whole office or wherever you work at.
Right.
It would be a killer.
Yeah, absolutely.
The morale would go down. Let's just say that.
Well, and then finally, this is the last one I came up with on my list. Have you ever had a boss that tried to lead by fear, like, I'm a tough guy, you better do what I say? Have you ever had?
I had that when I was younger. There was a boss like that, but he didn't scare them.
I hate that.
He didn't scare the what out of me.
The bejesus?
Yeah.
The bejesus.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, have you ever met a guy like that? Like the little guy that suffers from little man syndrome?
Oh, yeah. That's happened recently.
Walks around, got his elbows, way out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that?
And been on vacation for like a month and a half and then comes back and thinks he knows everything about you.
Oh, yeah.
That guy.
Yeah, I met those guys.
I know that.
Have you seen the YouTube commercial where that super skinny guy dressed in that sweater goes around and he like bumps people with his elbows and stuff?
Yeah. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, well, I think that's how some bosses are.
I think so, too.
So, we got a couple emails about, kind of the opposite. They were bosses talking about bad employees.
Yeah.
But what I would like to hear, and I'd like to get a couple emails, so email us at morningcrankers@gmail.com if you have a story about a bad boss.
Yeah.
Now we're not going to say their name.
No.
But we'll tell the story.
Oh, yeah.
Some people might find out, like if you're listening to Morning Crankers at work and there's a bad boss there, they might be like, that sounds strangely familiar. You know what I'm saying?
And you say guilty conscience.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would probably happen to more than just the person we're talking about.
Oh, I'm sure.
Finally, on to aggressive hawk. Now, this hawk actually terrorized an English village for weeks, and a resident actually had to catch it.
Huh.
This little sleepy English village, this thing was attacking people for weeks.
Oh, my goodness.
It was captured last Thursday, ending a string of 50 attacks. one that landed the 75-year-old man in a hospital. So this was not like,
Right.
This hawk actually disrupted postal deliveries and stole 2 woolen beanies belonging to a 91-year-old man.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, you don't even hear about this anymore.
No.
Did you know that it's illegal to own a crow in America?
I didn't know that.
Do you want to know why?
Why?
Because back in the early 20s, our prisoners taught crows how to bring things in and out of jails.
Huh.
So they made having pet crows illegal because crows are extremely smart.
Mm.
Anyways, this happened in Flamstead. It's about 30 miles north of London. And I'll tell you what, they tried to knock him on the head, but it didn't work too well.
I heard that they tried to knock the hawk out with some hawk tua.
Yeah, I mean, well, that might have worked better. It even tried to get a little girl.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, this was like serious, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it is serious.
I want to test your brain here.
Okay.
There's a very well-known historian, Boris Porshnev. Okay, he believes that Neanderthals never really went extinct. Okay, so there's this part of the Soviet Union, or former Soviet Union, Russia now, that has what they call the Ulma. Okay, and from the 1960s until now, I mean, it's still, they get massive reports of these giant ape-like beasts roaming around the mountains of Central Asia. He has developed this idea that the Neanderthals never died in the Ice Age. They just became really, really good at hiding and living in unhospitable places that we can't.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I think it's possible.
I mean, do you think that that could actually be something?
I think he could be onto something.
Well, I mean, I look at some of the people around.
Yeah.
Like, if you ever just want to go for fun, folks, and do something weird,
Yeah.
jump in the car and go to Walmart. Now, you're not there to buy anything. You're there to look at the people.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? And go and find these people. Just look around and guess where you think those people would come from around the world.
Right.
I'm telling you, there's a hobbit village somewhere.
I agree.
Have you ever done that?
Yes, I have.
Okay, I mean,
I've sat on the Walmart bench just to do that.
Exactly. I mean, people are thinking we're really weird right now.
Right, they are.
But, sometimes you got to do what you got to do when you're bored.
And that's exactly what I was doing.
But you know what I'm saying? I mean, some of the people that come in there, I'm not saying I'm the best looking dude in the world.
Me either.
But there are some people that I wonder if they didn't come from Neanderthal. I'm just saying.
Either that or they hit the last branch on the way down.
Well, I'd say all the branches on the way down. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I want to ask you something. This is sports related.
Okay.
I hear some people saying that Shedeur Sanders is too cocky. He's going to be a detriment. He's going to be a diva. He's going to do this. And then I hear this other argument that if the New York Giants get Shedeur Sanders, they could save the franchise.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible because I think he's that talented. But I will say this. He is one cocky kid.
He is cocky, but look at his daddy.
His daddy, yeah. His daddy wasn't too far behind then.
His daddy's still cocky.
Yeah.
University of Colorado.
Yeah.
Great player. But, it is what it is.
Right.
But that was kind of my question. Do you think that he can save the Giants?
I think there's no saving the Giants because they've got a lot of fixes to get, but other than quarterback. I think they need wide receiver help.
Well, they got a good wide receiver.
Well, they need more than one.
Yeah, well, I mean, they do, but it's a good start.
It's a start.
Now,
he would be a start to their franchise.
Well, the Giants always seem to get these no-name receivers, and then they do these incredible catches, and they get into the limelight, and then they become good.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Speaking of that, in NFL news, there was big news yesterday that Cincinnati Bengals have decided not to re-sign in Cincinnati, and that they want to move.
Really?
Yeah. So, not next year, but the year after, guess what city's number one on the list for them to move to?
Who?
St. Louis, Missouri.
Really?
Number 2 is San Diego, California.
Wow.
Columbus, Ohio
Yeah.
was third.
Wow.
Okay, so what do you think of that? I mean,
It don't
everybody.
bother me. It don't bother me because I'm not a Bengals fan, but
No, but your daddy is.
my dad is.
So, would that be heartbreaking for him?
It would.
I mean,
He says it wouldn't hurt, but I know it would.
see, I don't understand the dichotomy that's going on there. Like, what is Cincinnati? Do the Bengals not bring any money?
No, they bring money. It's just their owner only cares about one line, and that's the top line.
So
And
making money.
He's the Jerry Jones of the North. That's what I've always said.
So, where do you think they would go?
I don't know. Maybe St. Louis.
Well, St. Louis does have a new stadium.
Yeah.
If you remember, they built it, and then
Yeah,
the Rams were sued
Yep.
by the city of St. Louis because they backed out of the deal.
Yep. And that new stadium's just waiting for a team. So that's why I say they'll probably go to St. Louis.
How do you think that sounds? St. Louis Bengals.
And how's that going to make Cincinnati feel if they go to St. Louis? Because we know how they are about that in baseball.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. I know all about that. But I'm just saying, I don't really care personally because I'm not a Bengals fan. I was a Niners fan growing up and then became a Chiefs fan later on when Montana
And you're a
left.
fan of the Packers.
And I kind of like the Packers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm a Packer fan and then kind of like the Chiefs.
Yeah.
But what's weird, I also kind of like the Steelers.
Yeah. My dad's the same way. He likes the Steelers and the Bengals. So how can you like two teams in the same conference? That's what I'm telling you.
Okay, so I'm weird because of the Chiefs and the Steelers. But that's not a rivalry
That's
like
not
that.
like that's not like AFC North versus AFC North. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's not like being a Bears fan and a Packers fan.
Right. How weird is that?
Yeah,
That'd be
or
too-
if I was, I like the Raiders and the Chiefs.
yeah, that's real weird.
Yeah, or the Broncos and the Chiefs.
Yeah,
I mean, no,
that's
it ain't happening.
It's not happening.
Yeah.
So I don't know where Dad got his thought process on that. I think it's just whoever's he's a bandwagon jumper is what I always called him.
Right. Well, yeah, it is what it is. Folks, we are going for the day, but as we're going, I wanted to tell you, be careful
Yep. Be careful.
and don't smoke crack.
No.
We have a story today about a man who went to an Indonesian island that's outlawed for regular people to go because so many people have been killed by the indigenous tribe that lives there.
Yeah.
But this guy was different. He went in a canoe in the ocean,
Oh wow.
and he almost made it to the island. And he was going to make peace by giving them a can of Coca-Cola.
Wow.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wish I knew his name, like,
I don't know his name either.
Xander.
yeah.
I mean, I could see a Xander doing
Right.
that.
Yeah.
Francois.
No.
I could see Joe.
Yeah.
Joe. I could see a Joe doing that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
With an ice cream.
Yeah. Hunter. I could see a Hunter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, with a laptop.
Yeah. Just be careful with that,
Yeah.
folks. Check us out at morningcrackers.com. Send us an email at morningcrackers@gmail.com. And
Yes, and come over and check us out on all of the other radio networks you can find us at.
you mean podcast networks?
Podcast networks, anywhere.
Yeah, it is what it is. Folks, we love you.
Yes.
Thank you for being here. We'll
Love
see you
gang.
tomorrow.
Love your pops. Didn't mean to badmouth you.